It took a dozen or so allegations for this to happen. Walk us through the very latest that we know.
So the latest is that Les Moonves is out at CBS for the first time in more than 2 decades. To your point, there was a story alleging 6 cases of sexual harassment, or 6 women who had said that they had been harassed, that ran in late July in the New Yorker. Les Moonves hung on after that. He appeared on the company's earnings call a few days later. He was supposed to appear at a Goldman Sachs conference just this week, and a lot of people close to him thought it was feasible that he would find a way to stay on top, arguing that he had not abused his position, and also that a lot of these allegations were a long time ago. None of the allegations in either story happened in the last few years. Yet the moment that Ronan Farrow's second story dropped yesterday, it became clear that he was not going to stay in that position. We'd been hearing rumors of a second story and of additional allegations, and then within 12 hours of that second story publishing, Les Moonves announced that he was leaving.
6 additional allegations, and very detailed and disturbing allegations at that. There are questions surrounding other CBS executives. Jeff Fager, what do we know about the rest of the uncertainty here?
Yeah, the initial story really portrayed a rotten culture, one that was not respectful of different allegations from women, that had kind of what you think of as the classic old boys club in a company. And most of CBS is run by and led by people who are really loyal to Les Moonves. So I think you have to expect there to be a significant amount of change over the next couple of years. You won't see it right away. The National Amusements, which controls CBS, has put Joe Iannello in charge. Iannello is a close friend and ally of Moonves. I think that's just for the sake of stability. And my guess would be that over the next 6 to 12 months, you see Iannello and several other senior CBS executives leave. Whether they can kind of immediately create a culture of inclusion is not so clear. They would argue they already have it, but other people would contest that.
So talk to us about the new structure here. We're talking about 6 new directors. This Viacom situation is on hold, and yet some are saying, it's now more a done deal than ever.
Yeah, the important thing to note is that while National Amusements, which is the company that controls CBS and Viacom, has said that it will not push for a merger of those 2 companies, that it is possible for the board members of CBS and the board members of Viacom to pursue a deal on their own terms. And what you've seen over the past 24 hours is essentially a clean slate at the CBS board. You have a lot of the people who've been on that board for a long time, a lot of the people closest to Les Moonves, and a lot of the people who tried to dilute Sherry Redstone and National Amusements' control over CBS leaving, and new people presumably who have been sanctioned by National Amusements, some of whom who actually have ties to Viacom. The CEO of Hasbro has a close relationship with Viacom over movies, and then a lot of the people who are appointed also have experience in transactions and mergers and acquisitions. So you've seen analysts and other investors express belief that you'll see some exploration of a CBS-Viacom merger in the next year or 2, and if not a merger of those 2, something else, because these are 2 media companies that are significantly smaller than their peers at this point.
Moonves is one of the most powerful men in Hollywood now to lose his job, perhaps second to Harvey Weinstein. What do you think the ramifications are here in Hollywood and beyond?
I think you'll continue to see more cases come up and more push for change. There were a flurry of allegations and accusations kind of late last year. Harvey Weinstein was the first big case in this kind of the year of METOO, and then it seemed like every week there was somebody new. The pace has been slower this year, but in some ways the targets have been bigger, and you're seeing more push for kind of institutional change. The Toronto Film Festival is going on right now. There are a couple different things that have happened there. You've seen calls for more diversity in film criticism, and there's also been something of kind of a to-do over this movie in which Olivia Munn, one of the cast members, had noticed that one of her co-stars or somebody who appeared in it had a history of sexual impropriety and had that scene removed from the movie. So I just think you'll see more of this over the next few years.